Sometimes when we embark on a journey, our ultimate destination can be surprising and special. For Scott Stackman, an effort to honor his late father, Howard, led to the creation of an event, a community, and a family that has made a decade of difference in New York, across the country, and around the world.
Raising Scott was great. He was terrific. He always was mindful. And his father was always right there to encourage him to do what was right. And one of the things Howie instilled in him was giving charity, because charity was the most important thing in my husband's life.
Well, my father passed away in 2004, and I wanted to do something both extreme in his memory, but also something charitable. And a friend of mine told me about the Challenge Athletes Foundation, and they told me about this great triathlon challenge that I could partake in, and if I was the top fundraiser, I could get a slot to Hawaii.
Scott got his Ironman slot, but while he was in San Diego, a bigger idea was born.
Participating in the race itself and watching all of these challenge athletes pass me on the bike and the run was a humbling experience, but then when I saw the difference, the foundation was making in people's lives, I just knew I had to do something and bring it to New York. So I went over to the founders, Jeffrey Essico and Bob Babbitt, and I said, I know you think I'm here just for the slot to Hawaii, but after what I've seen here this weekend, we have to do something in New York because people will throw money at you. That you are just changing lives and making a difference, and people need to see this.
I remember when Scott Stackman first approached us with the idea of putting on a gala in New York City, and he said, nobody in New York knows who you are, and I know the kind of people who go to a gala a week, so if you're willing to put on a gala, I'd be willing to fill the room for you. But my vision of a gala in New York was probably a banquet room in the back of some restaurant. And Scott Stackman quickly said, oh no, the people I know are expecting to go to the grand ballroom of the Waldorf Astoria.
The first year we had 375 people and raised about $400,000, and we've now, the last 4 years, have broken $2 million each year.
Since that first celebration of Heroes Heart and Hope in 2007, the event has become a must-attend and raised more than $11 million. At the core of its success has been a winning combination of inspirational challenged athletes, dedicated supporters and volunteers, and hardworking, committed honorees.
We raise money. That's what we do for a living. Hardest deal I've ever done, the most emotional deal I've ever done, was raising money for CAF and for the gala. CAF is all about now. It's tangible. You look the people in the eyes that you've helped in prior years, and you know that there's people out there that you're going to be helping in the days and weeks to come.
I just think it's an unusual event. You get to see the impact that you're having on people's lives in a very up close and personal way. It's a very meaningful thing, particularly anyone who could appreciate how athletics and active lifestyles can really make a difference in your life.
Everybody's begging to be able to come, and the reason they are is that it's the most inspiring, beautiful evening and leaves everybody wanting more.
The CAF Gala has been a true game changer for us as a charity. For a little small organization in Southern California, we exploded when the gala came to New York.
The passion and energy that flows from the event has also shown itself in other ways, with 3 marriages getting their start at the gala, including Scott and Emily's.
Meeting my wife was definitely one of the most memorable moments of the gala.
I hadn't met Scott before, but I volunteered in the beginning of the gala, and he actually had an extra 2 seats at his table. So my friend and I sat at his table. I sat next to him. He just sort of exuded this happiness about the organization that was infectious.
That positive energy has been embraced by the New York community, and their generosity has driven the event to new heights of success.
It starts with, having friends that see how passionate this cause is. It's recognizing that there are a lot of people working really hard behind the scenes to make a difference in people's lives. It's also being able to see, feel, and touch the difference you're making, and every dollar is truly impacting somebody's life. But again, not just their life, but the family around them.
With Scott's leadership, the Challenged Athletes Foundation and the Celebration of Heroes' Heart and Hope will continue to make a difference for decades to come.
We are so incredibly thankful to Scott Stackman for all the time, energy, and passion that he's put into building the CAF presence in New York City.
On behalf of myself and so many of the other challenged athletes around the world, I want to thank Scott and the Stackman family for all that they have done to change lives and empower people with disabilities.
Scott, unbelievable. I mean, coming up with this concept, this idea, this dream 10 years ago, and to see what it's become, congratulations. And what you've done for CAF, me and the Roth family, we thank you. We really do thank you from the bottom of our heart.
We couldn't be happier for Scott. Very proud of him. He's done an amazing job. He's really, pulled out every stop to make every one of these galas impactful. If it wasn't for him, this wouldn't be the kind of event that it is. He's a great giver. He's a great guy. He's going to be a great dad, and so I'm very happy for him. He's had a great time in his life, and this is a real pinnacle. I think it's great.
Congratulations, Scott. This is an amazing honor. 10 years of the Heroes' Heart and Hope Gala is an amazing achievement, and I'm so proud of you.
I love you, my son. I love you. Just keep doing what you're doing. You're making a lot of people happy.
I know my dad is looking down on me today, and I know he's very proud, and I feel it every day.
Mr. Scott Stackman.
Wow. You know, I always dreamed of having a standing ovation. I just never dreamed it would be at my second wedding. So thank you all for coming. Emily, if you ever get upset with me, I'm just going to make you watch that video over and over again until you forgive me. All kidding aside, I am humbled by that amazing tribute. But I need to correct one thing. We've actually raised over $13 million as of tonight, and we're just getting started. I remember walking through those doors 10 years ago. It was the first time I looked up at the walls and I saw the lights of Heroes' Heart and Hope. I was so excited that the day had finally come, and I looked up at the ceiling and I said, "Dad, this is for you. This is for you." Our journey over the last 10 years has shown us that far too many things in life just don't make sense, that anyone's life could be altered at any moment without warning. When it's tough to see the good in the world, I think about the ability of the human spirit to overcome adversity and the drive and motivation of our CAF athletes. I think about how having an I will attitude can accomplish anything. As a friend once said to me, able-bodied athletes are given every opportunity in the world and create all their own obstacles. And our CAF athletes have every obstacle in the world and create all their opportunity. Not just in sports, but in life as well. But sometimes even our athletes need a mentor, footsteps to follow, inspiration to move forward, or the adaptive equipment to build the skills and confidence that the rest of us take for granted. That is where CAF thrives. And a lot of the funding that makes all of this possible comes from right here in this room. We owe so much gratitude to the CAF staff and volunteers like Sari Levy and Justin Modell. And of course, our past honorees like Martin Franklin, Stephen Friedheim, Byron Roth, and the Heroes of Boston, all of them who are here with us tonight. Their commitment and generosity has been a true difference, and I want to thank all of them personally. I would also like to thank all of my incredible colleagues, family, and friends who have continuously supported our efforts over the years. I take this event very personally, and your generosity means the world to me. But if any of you have ever felt that I've been too aggressive or relentless in my promotion of CAF, please forgive me and understand it truly comes from a great place. Because if you got to see what goes on behind the scenes at CAF, you would get it and you would want to see more. When you attend a CAF running clinic and watch hundreds of amputees learning to run with their OSA running feet for the first time, trust me, you will get it. And when one of those kids crosses the finish line and receives his first medal, believe me, you will get it. And when the wife of a veteran comes over to you at the San Diego Triathlon Challenge and says, "My husband is racing again. He is no longer drinking or using painkillers. Now I have my husband back and my kids have their father back." And how about when you get a wedding card from tonight's featured athletes, Patrick Jones and Jessica Kensky, that says, "Boston brought us together and Boston will always unite us." And finally, when you see a group of young girls, each at a different stage in their recovery, mentoring, encouraging, and supporting each other, if you don't get it by now, you should have somebody check your pulse. These are what we at CAF call the aha moments. The moment where you go from feeling sorry to feeling inspired. The moment where you go from being a passive attendee to a passionate supporter. The moment where you just get what we do and want to do more. And what's amazing for me is that after 12 years, I still have these aha moments every time I attend anything CAF related. Tonight, I would like to share my most personal aha moment, maybe even too personal. For years, my CAF pitch has been, you can literally see, feel, and touch the difference you make in someone's life. But now I realize what makes CAF even more special are the things you can't touch and sometimes can't even explain. About 2 months ago, I was with my dad's sister, Marilyn, who was also my godmother, and she also just turned 90. As always, she was talking about the importance of family and providing her perspective on life. She told me a story about my father that I never knew. He was a small boy around 7, and he fainted from an extremely high fever. My grandfather had to carry him down their 4-story walk-up in Brooklyn to an ambulance, and when he awoke, he was petrified. The doctor thought he had scarlet fever, and there was a good chance that he would have to amputate the leg. He was then quarantined for several weeks, but ultimately he kept his leg and wore a patch on his leg and a brace on his eye for several months. Understandably, my dad became petrified of doctors and ambulances, and he never overcame that fear. A few years before he passed, my dad developed a lesion on his leg, and over time it got worse. We all begged and urged him to see someone, but his childhood experience prevented him from ever seeking the appropriate attention. Maybe he was once again afraid of losing his leg, and ultimately that cost him his life. If CAF had been around when my dad was a kid, there would have been more acceptance and understanding and less fear. My dad would have been less afraid of doctors, and maybe he would still be here today. Or perhaps this was all destiny and part of a bigger plan, since racing in his memory led to the start of the Heroes Heart and Hope Gala, where we have helped thousands of individuals thrive through sports. And as we know, this is the event where I met my lovely wife, Emily, and we are now expecting a little stackatini in 2 months. In all seriousness, Em, thank you for volunteering that year in 2012, and I am very happy that I strategically sat you at my table. Whether fate brought us or destiny brought us here, what you don't know is when I first got to San Diego in 2005, I sat in a corner not talking to anyone. I would not look anyone in the eye. I saw gymnasiums lined with prosthetic legs and sports chairs. I watched people hop, crawl, and wheel around. I witnessed possibilities I never knew existed. They were the majority, and I was the minority. I was scared, and I was lonely. Mom, I don't know if you remember this, but I called you up. I told you I was depressed. I told you I didn't know what to do, and I was uncomfortable, and I missed Dad. You told me to remember why I was there, to stay strong and stay focused. You gave me the courage and strength to follow through. It was your words of encouragement that allowed me to stay, and you are the reason we are here tonight. You see, soon after that call, I met this boy, Jake Frank. Jake stole the hat off my head and my heart as he waddled away with 2 prosthetic running legs, hysterically laughing, with my hat in his hand. He showed me that missing legs does not mean that you have to miss out on life, and that is when the light turned on. What had been a fear of paralysis or losing a limb turned into a passion for helping athletes with physical challenges. Now I only see ability. Now I only see amazing people. Now I only see athletes and friends. Jake's all grown up, and he's here with us tonight. Jake, I'll always remember that moment at SDTC and the tremendous gift you gave me. Thank you. A friend of mine recently told me the life you lead is the lesson you teach and the legacy you build. Tonight, I would like to announce the Heroes Heart and Hope Legacy Award, presented to the individual who has made the biggest difference behind the scenes for CAF, its athletes, and future generations. The first recipient of this award is my mother, L Stackman. Mom, please stand. Stay standing. Look around. This is all because of you and because of the support you gave me on that call. This is your legacy you are witnessing right here, right now. It's not just me, Emily, Shari, your grandchildren, and your future grandchildren. It's the entire CAF family that needs you to keep fighting, to stay strong, and do whatever it takes, just like the athletes you have supported all of these years. I love you. To wrap things up, I'm going to ask everyone to do something a little bit different. I want everyone to truly close their eyes and imagine what I am saying. I can see you, so really close your eyes. For all the runners in the room, I want you to picture you're running across a finish line, or that runner's high you get. And for the cycling buddies, the feeling you get when you conquer that hill and ride down the other side. And how about the skiers in the room? That incredible feeling of the fresh mountain air as you speed down the mountain or hit the moguls. And for those golfers, that one perfect shot out of 100 that keeps you coming back the following day. And for all the parents in the room, watching your kids participate in sports, the first time they get a goal or hit the basket, the smiles on their faces, just because they're able to participate. The teamwork, the passion, the medals, and all of the invaluable lessons that come from sports. Close your eyes and really picture everything I'm saying. Visualize it. I know you've all been here, and I know you've all experienced it. Now imagine you can't do any of it. Not because you don't want to, but because you lack the financial means or support. All of it taken away from you. Please open your eyes. These are the individuals you have helped throughout the years, the ones that went from I can't to I will, the ones who will go on to mentor others thanks to all of you. It is my hope that this year, a Paralympic year and our 10-year anniversary, will be the first year in CAF history that no grant goes unfunded. I'm going to ask our auctioneer, Jason, to come out and help me. Earlier, I spoke of aha moments, and they just keep coming. Just this morning, I received a voicemail from a childhood friend of mine named Alan Brown, who was paralyzed in an accident in the ocean 28 years ago. He was supposed to be here, and CAF provided him his racing wheelchair to participate in the New York City Marathon last year. Let's hear the message from Alan.
Hey, buddy, it's Alan. Just wanted to call. I unfortunately am canceling my trip as we speak. I don't feel well. That germ infection growing out of me, and I'm going to the emergency room. I was trying to hold on as long as I can, but I can't put my body in harm's way, brother. I'm so proud of you. You change lives every day. I really can't believe I'm not going to be there for you. Thank you for all that you do to help everybody, brother. Catch you later.
Alan's message is proof that everyone in this room has the ability to make a difference. And before we go into the funda item, I'm going to do something either really stupid and crash and burn, or together we're going to make history. Our goal is to make sure every grant goes unfunded, and too often, too many go unfunded. Who will be with me and raise their paddle for $100,000 so we can make sure every grant is funded? Please raise your paddle if you're with me.
All right, right there. Clap for these ladies and gentlemen. Number 826, right there. Give a big round of applause. Scott, your beautiful mother right there. Wave your hand. Wonderful, right there. $100,000. Raise your big card at $100,000 tonight, ladies and gentlemen. If you'd like to be a part of making history tonight, that number tonight is, again, right there.
We know who it is.
You know who it is. Number 145. Number 144. Give him a big round of applause here tonight as well.
So I've been up here long enough. I thank you all. We're going to go into our regular funding item, and let's keep the momentum going. Thank you, and God bless you.
Let's give Scott a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.